Hi everyone, I'm Nicolette. My mentor was Ellen Story from Stu Leonard's. I graduated 2014 from Saunders High School. Currently I'm working as a head trainer at F45 in Portchester. I'm also part-time at WCC, and I'm also doing Olympic weightlifting on the side. The biggest thing I got from the Her Honor mentoring program was confidence. When I first started out with Ellen and Stu Leonard's, so she worked in the HR department, which was in charge of most of everything going on there. And I felt like I didn't belong. Both of my parents didn't go away to college. I wasn't raised with not that my parents didn't give me the idea that I could be more than what I thought, but I kind of thought within my means of what I knew. And just being in that office, sitting in that seat, I was definitely shy when I was sitting in there, but meeting everyone that worked for her and seeing their level of respect, even with the authority that she had, really opened me up to the possibilities of going for a higher ranked position, but also forming that professional relationship with workers. So I think Her Honor mentoring program is great. I still have my picture up with Judge Judy and Nicole in my hall at my home. And I always speak about this program, so you guys are very lucky to be here. All right, I'm gonna start with the SATs. So after taking my SATs, I was very discouraged. I went home crying to my mom, and she actually had to talk with me. She felt very bad. Mind you, we didn't know what I scored at this point, but she said, college is not for everyone. We will accept you if you don't go. And I've always had it in my heart that I wanted to go to college. So I stuck to it, and I didn't get into the school that I wanted, but I got into other SUNY schools. So I went to SUNY Oneonta. And so I went to Oneonta as a math major, and my first year there, I said, there's no passion in this for me, so I want to make a switch. And I called my family up, and I told them I want to do physical education, and I'm switching to Cortland. And my dad said, I will not sign your your co-sign for your loan. If you make this switch, you will have to come home and go to WCC. And I put up a fight because I knew where my passion was. And eventually my father gave in. And over time, they start to see your vision. So my advice to you is whatever your vision may be, whether it seems small or large to others, stick with what you want, because in the end, that's what's gonna make you happy. So I went to Cortland, loved the phys ed program. I came home and I started working full-time for a gym. I was supposed to do my student teaching, but I realized that physical education is not for me. So I love the program and what I learned there, and I have amazing resources, but now I'm shooting for something even bigger. So now I transferred to WCC to finish out my credits, and I had to switch my major. So technically I'm graduating with a fitness development minor in physical activity, but I have all of my sciences for phys ed. I have done all the credit hours. So then I had people talking, well, how did you just go through 4 years of school and not get credit for the program that you studied for? I know what I learned. I use that knowledge to my benefit, to benefit others, to benefit people in my field. So like I said, sticking to your true self is what matters. The name on the degree might not be what you went to school for, and that's okay. So that's what I'm dealing with now. It always comes back to the am I good enough question. You're always gonna question, am I good enough because of what society asks? Am I good enough because of what my parents expect of me, or what friends, So my mom also worked at my high school, and when I switched to the phys ed, I would get phone calls from my old teacher saying, you should probably stick to being a math major and then do a minor in phys ed. And if in their time, maybe that was possible, but the program is actually very difficult now. Physical education teachers don't get the light or respect that they should, because the program has changed since the teachers graduated, the teachers that are currently enrolled in this. But like I said, it comes back to just knowing yourself, knowing what you want, and knowledge is power. So no matter what you're going through when you're in college, the more you educate yourself outside of your classes, the more confident you'll be in yourself. So someone mentioned it here, if you have any questions, just start asking. I remember asking in my freshman dorm, just talking about my problems out loud to the girls in my hall. They were all going through the same thing, and sometimes I got answers I didn't even realize, just from resources, from someone talking to another advisor on campus. So just make those connections if you go away to school. If you don't go away to school right away, or if you don't go away to school at all, that's okay. Just be passionate about what you do. The biggest thing that my mom pushed for was to go to a school that you can end up paying back your loans. So I had like Quinnipiac in mind and all these big schools, not thinking about the financial, just thinking about the experience, because I got to go see the campuses. And now graduating from a SUNY school and seeing that my debt isn't as much as my friends that went away to Syracuse or to Quinnipiac, those type of schools, I'm happier. So one thing I read recently was that loan companies will give just a number, like $100,000 to $200,000 to someone coming out of high school, but then won't give you money for a business loan when you're outside of that. So I think it comes with where you are right now. You may think that that school is for you, but look into the schools that you might not see your passion fully, because you never know what type of professors you're going to meet, what type of friends you're going to meet, and what kind of connections you're going to meet. So just like someone said here, the name of your school you might think follows you around, but really the people inside of those schools are what make it big time for you. So don't worry too much about the big name school, unless it's something that you seek in the field, like you know positively that's what your heart's set on, then go with it. My first day of class, I sat in my first class. 30 minutes in, I realized I was sitting in the wrong class. So they tell you to make the best impression on your first day because your professors will remember you. Well, I walked in at the end of my professor's class saying, "Hi, I am a freshman and I was supposed to be here 50 minutes ago." And when I tell you I was the only person's name that he remembered the entire semester, he remembered me. And it was a lecture class. So when I returned back to that class, I was lost. I had anxiety. I was like, high school didn't prepare us because he was talking, we were writing notes. How am I going to keep up? You adapt. So there might be a little grace period where you feel like you don't belong, but I promise you, just overcome it, sit in that class, and you'll learn.